I'm back on the Hustler, and the reason this is because I found online Pat's small engine, and Pat's small engine, to their testament, had a stub shaft. Bingo. Collar. But most importantly, what Pat's small engine had, that Hustler kept jacking me around with, granted, the manufacturer didn't have, wouldn't find it, wouldn't tell me about it, nothing. The local parts store sent me the wrong one for $550 some, but Pat's small engine, check them out, because I got me a clutch for this Hustler. Without this clutch, that thing is a 2,000 pound paperweight. Got a stub shaft because when I yanked this clutch off of there, I think I sheared that woodruff key. So I'm gonna see about taking this stub shaft, not that one, taking the stub shaft off inside there, because it's got the shim on there, the shiv. So that's my mission. Now that I see that this just bolts on there, before it wouldn't come off too easy, so it just tells me I gotta hit it. Thing's been on there since like 1984, so you know, it's probably slightly welded on there. But this will be an awesome score, man. So that's my mission, that stub shaft with that shiv on there, and that's got that collar on the front of it. So I think with that stub shaft off, I'll be able to deal with this thing. So let me get to work on that. I don't know if that's a metric. Shouldn't be. Nope, 5/8 ain't gonna get it. What about an 18? 18 is just a bit big. 5/8 is too small. So is that a 17? That's better. See if this helps out any. Whew. Right on. All right, now it's just the painful stake of backing all these out, and I'm thinking I don't have enough room. I gotta between the head of the bolt and the back of that sheave, so I'll have to knock this stub shaft loose before I can get these bolts all the way out. But let me get this out of here now. All right, going dark for a while. All right, so I knocked it loose, so now I should be able to back these bolts all the way out. So this is loose on there now, which is what I wanted. Okay, this is all coming together. Just had to give it 5 or 6 months, and starting to work out. I think I'm on the road to perdition here. So let me get this out of there now. All right, those are the tools I had to use to get that. It's 2 pieces. It's this stub shaft, or 3 pieces. It's this stub shaft, a collar, and that sheave. Took me those tools to get those pieces out of down there, and that was after I had a hell of a time pulling the clutch off of that stub shaft. I'll have to tie this video in with that one, because that was one hell of an effort. All right, well, that's good. I got that done. That makes me happy, because now I can work on that. What a day. Well, today I am up to back to the Hustler. Got to get that looked at. I got to see how to get that sheave off that stub shaft, and that's my objective. Be nice to be able to get to some tree activity today, but I don't know if I'm gonna do that. Got to, but don't know if it's happening today. All right, let me open this door up and get on down to the shop. All right, let's that's the smallest puller I have, and I let this thing soak with some Croil on it overnight, so let's see what it does. Something or nothing. And I can't seem to back out the set screw because it's baked in there. I don't know. We'll just try and see what happens here. don't know if I'm gonna have to put the torch on this or what. Bingo, I got it. Tools of the effort. We never really did use that one. Obviously I used this one. Wasn't the best choice. I had to sacrifice the stub shaft to begin with when I was jacked it up trying to get the clutch off of it a while back. But I got it, it popped out. Pry bars, BFH, you know, it's typically how things go for me. But I didn't have to get the torch out, so that's a good thing. I did bugger the face of this shiv up a little bit, so I'm gonna have to tend to that, file it down smooth, sand it down. So I think it's like ductile iron or something, so it's you know, it's not just a tin or you know, a carbon steel or anything. I think it's a soft duct iron or something like that. But let me get this rolling here. Come on, thing, say it. Come on, baby. Frick. It's coming, but she ain't going without a fight. Just got a bit more to go. Come on! Oh! There she be. fricker. Getting this damn thing's off the pain in the ass. Kind of a flapper. Let's see if I can't touch it up with this. Got some of the ridges that I created down. The divots can't do much about, but yeah, there's did okay. Other than that, it's pretty dang good shape. Take some steel wool to the inside there and start putting this thing back together. Okay, I got it tidied up. It's not perfect, but it's kind of where I gouged it. Just had to happen. Took a little bit of steel wool, tidied it up in there. Take a little steel wool and just kind of tidy that up. It's not like a press fit, so it's not that it's critical to get all the rust off for fitting purposes, but tidy it up since I have it out here. All right, let me do that. All right, so these were the Woodruff keys that I got. The part number, I had the Hustler part number for them. This one I salvaged. So this is the one that locks the collar. This is the old collar. It locks this collar on top of the shiv right here. So the shiv sits down on there. This sits down, locks into that Woodruff right there that I was able to salvage. This is the old collar. But in the old clutch, you can see at the top here, there's a Woodruff key right there. That's what's in there, and that's the one I was hoping the part number was. The drawing didn't do it much justice, so as to which one was which. So fortunately, what I got is for that top, and that's awesome because that Woodruff sheared off like right along there when I pulled that old clutch off. I don't know what I did with the old clutch at the moment. Anyway, so I'm happy to see that this Woodruff key will bang into there, and that's the key that I needed for the installation of the clutch. So that's cool. Now what I'm waiting on to be here, I ordered a bunch of new grade 8 metric hardware, so that'll be coming in as well. Then I'll be ready to reassemble and try to stick this bad boy back on there. We'll see how that goes though. Anyway, let's get back to the lift arms for the lift arm for the little Bobcat. But that's a good score. That makes me very happy. All right, back to the Hustler's clutch and stub shaft assembly here. Got my hardware, and these are a class 10.9 zinc plated to replace these, which were 8.8s. Yeah, these were grade 8s, which I did get here too. Grade 8 10 millimeter by 1.25 by 25, but I did score the gray 10s, which are actually, you know, 2 more than grade 8. I don't know what the tensile strength differences are, but it is fairly significant. And but I figured if I got to replace it, might as well replace with better. Anyway, and I'd ordered some various lengths of these metrics, which I have a tendency to do. I always seem to order for inventory, because at some point in time you never know. And especially these oddball things like this. Metric, fine thread, you know, just what an oddball. And I got some new lock washers as well. So let me try to assemble this thing. I'm not going to try to stab it back into that tonight. Look at the video, see just how far this was on there. Maybe I'll do that. So I don't want to overstuff this thing. I just know it was in far enough to where I couldn't get those bolts out. Okay, that's all the further I'm gonna go with it for right now, till I go watch this video to see if I can see where that was before. Might be too far as we speak. I don't want to go any further, that's for sure. Might be right about there. This is pretty damn close. I don't want to go any further with it, that's for sure. That is faux show. It was. And it was about 410. I'm about right where it needs to be, man. So I'm not going any further with this. I think we're good. Then, now my question is, I don't think, here let me put this on my head. I don't think this is going to cause me an issue. Getting back on. Because that's how that bad boy is going to go on there. So I think I'll be able to put this on in the unit. I don't need to put that on out here because I'll just weight it down trying to get this mounted back onto the track. Yeah, so I don't think I'm gonna put this guy on. And I think the pulley, shift, and collar are on as far as they need to go. That will go on there just like that. That keyway goes on there. That, I think, is a score. So we're not going to go any further tonight, so I'm going to go clean up. And this, I think, is what I'll do tomorrow. Alright, well, that's it for me, folks. Failed with the Bobcat's dump bed arm, lift arm. another step forward on the Hustler. So I'm almost there with that, man, to get it back together. That's awesome. Anyway, protect this republic. Love all my friends and family. Hope everybody's well, and bless everything, you know. It's a good life. Peace. All right. Today, people, I'm telling you, it is going to be a freaking scorcher. But I got to get this Hustler going. So that means I got to get this clutch installed. And that's just going to be the way it is today. And hopefully I'll have time then to take a look at the Gator and get the maybe get the fuel filter, check it out, just see what's going on with this thing, because it's not playing nicely and it comes and goes. I don't know if I'm gonna do the, I gotta do the check the fuel filter anyway, but I need to maybe the gas should be fine. It's fresh gas, everything else runs fine. So it's just, it seems like anytime I put new gas, fill it up, it just acts funky. And but I'm gonna open this up all the way. Anyway, I'll deal with this later. I want to get that Hustler going. It's been a long time waiting, and that will be that. And there is my sentencing for today. My penance is having to work in that thing, and I'll link this video to the previous one when I took the clutch out. Working on this thing sucks. It has parts and pieces sticking up everywhere. It's a mechanical wonder. And so it's got metal bars and wires and springs and everything. But where I gotta work is down low in it, so I have to like be on my knees leaning down and in. It just kills my back. It's just no fun. But with that in mind, I am going to get myself ready for this. It is nice and cool in the shop faux show. All right, I think I got that pressed on about where it needs to be yesterday. No man, I don't know if I need to redo these bolts holding that thing down. I might have them on there too tight, because I used them to pull that down, and I think these washers got hacked up a little bit. Let me check that out first here. All right, put some little stainless washers on there. I think we're ready to start this process. My forecast is what's going to be the real pain is getting this arm that stabilizes the it's still on the machine, that stabilizes the clutch, that holds it in place, you know, so it doesn't torque spin around. I think that's going to be the challenge. That is going to be the challenge. All right, I've got one started. Now I gotta figure out how to turn this thing so I can fiddle with the next one like that. That's what I needed to have happen. Okay, so these ones, there we go. I can back it out a little bit. I need to go get a screwdriver. Come on, man. Alright, so you see what a laborious process this is gonna be. And I gotta see about this belt lining up here. Okay, I think I'm going to see if I can check this, if this belt's somewhat true. Because if it is, I don't need to fuck with it or jack with it, pardon my French. I'll tighten those stub shaft bolts down, and I'll move this forward into the shade, and that'll eliminate a lot of that heat stress. There's always something in the way in here, man. This thing's just got so much shit going on with it. No, man. Can't get something from that pulley to that pulley. I need something shorter, that's for sure. That might be pretty damn close. Alright, let me just finish tightening this up and move it forward. I can fire it up and see how that belt turns. It's running true. Back together down there. That has been the bane of my existence, what's underneath that cover, which is the clutch. All new stub shaft, collar, clutch. And I've got to tape up that wiring down there, which means I've got to climb up underneath this thing again. I figured I would just check all my bolts and whatnot while I'm at it, if you know what I mean. Alright, well, let me do that. I also got to look at this throttle cable. I think I kind of jacked it a little bit, but it's the least of my worries right now. Well, I'm not even going to go into it with you other than the Hustler is back in action and functioning, but I'll just avoid you the few hours of a shit show that went on, because it was a shit show. That thing, those wings on it, you can't work on this thing, man, especially down in the well. It's just, anyway, it's done. Clutch is in, new clutch is in, everything's turning and cutting. I gotta go through and do some adjusting the throttle cable, and this wings cable, I gotta tighten it up. It's kind of just, it's pretty loose. The cable that engages the clutch for it, or disengages it, whichever way you want to talk about it. And other than that, man, it's done. Kaput. See if I can't bang this dent out of this thing. It was there when I bought it, so it's Be a good mower for somebody's golf course. That's where this thing needs to live. Right now, I'm going in because, man, I am one beat dog. So protect this republic, right? Got to do that. I love all my friends and family, and hope everybody's well. I miss my Aunt Susie. I miss my daughter. She's out in California doing army stuff. And I'm shutting it down, people. Peace. Well, it's the day after, it's Sunday, after the epic marathon shit show, putting in that, changing the clutch out, I should say putting in the new clutch assembly and whatnot in that Hustler. Man, I'm feeling it today. I bet it's just, that is one of the most, I don't know, frustrating, chaotic, painful thing to do. There's so much stuff on that mower with the wings and the hydraulic hoses. Nothing's easy to work on that thing, and let alone there's, like with the clutch, so part of the clutch spins freely, right? It's part of the nature of the clutch. But you have a protective bell or cap that goes over it that the drive shaft then goes through. So, and this is all down, down, I call it in the well there. So you're having to lean over and down and in this thing with a little open space where there's no hoses or whatnot, and trying to hold up a drive shaft, you know, that has the U-joint on one end, that has the face plate to bolt through that bell and into the ever-moving clutch assembly, and almost with one hand, because you're having to lean on one arm as you're leaning over this thing. So anyway, it's done. I got it done. What I did is I used a couple of smaller bolts to line up the holes between the drive shaft faceplate, the bell cover, and the clutch. That finally was the trick. I had to use bolts that were just a little bit smaller than the ones that fit in there, so they didn't create a bunch of slop in the holes. Anyway, finally got that done. Getting the arm that holds the clutch stabilized on the back side, that was so again, you don't have any room down there to work, and you got to get the clutch on the shaft and get it aligned with the shaft for the woodruff key. All the meanwhile, you got this long metal piece of metal, like rod, if you will, flat iron, but you got to get it up and underneath and get the tail of it, which is just a round, you know, round stock, into a hole, because that's what holds it. But then you got two little nuts on the back side that hold that mounting plate, that mounting bar in position. Well, you don't have any room or flexibility, if you will, to get those little bolts in on the back side of that thing and stick that bar down into a hole that you can't see. It's like playing darts blindfolded, and in order to get out of the maze, you got to hit the bullseye of the dart. But I wound up getting that done. So none of the stuff, I mean, was, I don't know, you know, it's just the small stuff that in theory is very simple, but the practicals of the matter, it's, you know, are completely opposite of the theoretical process. And Liz helped me out, but you're basically on your own doing it, unless you got, you know, a buddy helping you. Anyway, it was all day long, but I got it done. It seems to be running fine. So I got to go clean the shop up today, and I'm actually going to use the Hustler to get the front yard, give it a good test. I got to get up underneath it once more to tape up the wiring for the clutch. It's fairly short down there, but I just want to wrap some, get some tape wraps on it to keep it protected. And that's what I'm going to be up to. So see you here in a bit.